Hey guys, I'm a little bit sick, so I'm gonna sound a little bit sick. But I'm working on a new mod. It's based off the old mod that I worked on a bit over a year ago. And the idea is that progression was more challenging. Not that it's harder, but tries to reduce people from going AK within like an hour of wipe. It's still 100% doable, it's just based off a lot more skill versus it being just the meta. Because the current meta is an arms race. Basically, you get as much scrap as you can and you race down the tech tree, and that's basically it. You don't really have to like go outside your base, you don't have to roam. And a lot of this was expressed by H. June recently, but this is something that I've been finding a huge issue in the last couple of years with Rust, and so I made this mod actually close to 2 years ago. Never finished it. I got like 90% of it done. So in the meantime, I basically redid my mod. It's a lot more streamlined now, and I finished it in about 2 days because I ended up using ChatGPT for a lot of code assisting with what I was coding, and I reused a lot of the code from my original mod. Anyways, here it is, very simple. To progress to tier 1, you have these objectives on the left. These are not the final counts, so right now you only have to kill one player with the machete, which means you have to get a machete. So that means you either have to find it or you have to craft it. So doing all of these objectives is going to take time, and let me just show you how that works. So let's say there's a player, all right? Kill him, and bam, look at that. I've already met the first objective. Now in a real wipe, this might be like 10 kills or something, you know. The admins can set that. Once all of these are unlocked, you can now use the workbench. Because currently, watch this, I'm going to try to craft a nail gun. It says you cannot craft a nail gun yet. Global tier is 0, still primitives tier. So obviously you can't do the other benches as well. So there's a global progress. So that means majority of the players have to meet all of these objectives in order for that global tier to go up. So let me show you what I mean. I'm just gonna spawn a bunch of players. Oh god. Alright, I've already met the first objective. Let me get the wooden spear out. Okay, met the second objective, hunting bow. There we go, kill 2 players. Let me give myself an Ioka because I forgot about that. Let me give myself a bunch. And alright. So as you saw, the objectives disappeared, and first of all, it said tier 1 unlocked. So look at this. Now I can craft the nail gun. The other bonus is I was one of the first players to do it, obviously, because I was the first. And so I got a reward, which is a supply signal. So something like the first 10 players or whatever, admins can adjust that, get a supply signal. Since there's only one player in the server, soon as I finished all my goals, obviously majority of the players, since there's one player, tier 1 was unlocked. But if there was 100 players, say, inside, 50 players would have to finish all their goals before tier 1 was unlocked for everybody. So the idea here is that there's global tier unlocks. So until majority of the players achieve these goals, no one can craft tier 1 items. But of course they can loot them, so I can do things like oil rig. So let me actually go over to the oil rig right now. Alright, so I've turned on no clip so that I'm flying around so you can see what I mean. Another thing you might have noticed is I'm playing this in hardcore mode. And that's to disable, you know, map and compass and a team system to kind of bring back Rust to what it was. But that's up to the server admin. You know, you don't have to run this mod with hardcore mode. It's optional. All right, so let's just go to a monument so we could take a look at the loot. Let's look in this military crate. No item here. No item. Look at this, a battery. So that's clearly tier 2, but I'm able to pick it up. So what does that mean? That means that I can use any item I find, and that's not changed. It's the exact same in the entire world. Here's another military crate. Let's see if there's any weapons. No. Here's another example. So I can use this hazmat, all right? I can use the solar panel. The difference is I can't craft it. So if I die with it or it gets damaged, it's gone. You can't craft it. So that's kind of how progression is managed now. So players can actually do oil rig, get AK, and they can do that if their skill gap allows them to do that. If they can fight off all the players racing to do that, they can get that tier 3 item within an hour, within half an hour. But if they happen to die with it, it's gone. And the next player might, loot it. Let's see if there's any items in here that'll give me an advantage. Maybe a drone, That'd be kind of cool and primitive to have a drone. But that's the idea. Come on, give me a cool weapon. Come on. Anyways, let's go back to that little spawn area, and I can show you researching now, how researching is affected. Alright, perfect timing. Look at this. Our airdrop is coming in because I got the reward for being one of the first players to unlock tier 1. As that's dropping, I'm going to get out of the no clip and show you how researching works. So now let's say I want to go down the tech tree. I've got the scrap. Hey, nothing's happening. So we get a message now saying you need the item you are trying to research. And we saw that earlier message because I actually had that item. So what does that mean? You can't research the item without the scrap, but then you also need the item in your inventory. So I'm going to give myself the item so I can show you what I mean. Salvaged hammer. So let's say now I found this salvaged hammer in the world and I want to go down the tech tree. So now that I have the item, I've got a 75% chance of successfully researching it. There's a 25% chance that I don't research it. I want to make sure I'm guaranteed to research it. I need 2 items, which will give me their combined odds. So basically 75 plus 75 gives me over 100% chance. Therefore, it's guaranteed. Let's try with just one so you can see what I mean. So I actually got it because, 75% chance is very good. Imagine I looted an item that was damaged. Alright, I just quickly wrote a script to damage the item I'm holding. So here we go. I've got a pickaxe, which is the next item on the list I need to research. The idea is that the unlock chance, which is default 75%, is affected by the health and is actually proportional to it. So, if I had this item, so I'm going to throw this on the ground. So I have this pickaxe. It's fully damaged, therefore I should have a 0% chance of unlocking this. So you were not able to research the item, try again with a higher condition item. And what happened? It actually consumed the item still. Even though it failed, it consumed the item. So that's kind of the risk you take. You find an item like this in a box, it's partially damaged like a weapon. You need to decide, should I just hang on to this and use it, or should I take the risk of researching it? So the idea is that if I choose to research it, whether in the scrap bench or through the tech tree, it's the same type of challenge with the chance percentage based off its health. Let's go back to the tech tree. And now I'm going to try to research the pickaxe, even though the pickaxe we have is less than 50% healthy. Let's see if we get it. We got lucky and we got it. Let's try a couple more. So what's next? We have the sword, and I'm gonna use that little script I wrote. Damaged item 200. Damage item 100. Look at that. It's almost dead, so that should have a really low chance of being researched. Wow. Well, got lucky again. I think. Let's make sure. let's keep going. You might be experiencing a bug session with me as we're doing this. Item 200. See luck, watch. If I try to research this, obviously it's not going to work. 0%. I think it is working. We've just gotten incredibly lucky. Let's try it again. That is barely any health. See? Didn't work. Okay, so it is working. Very low chance of success when it is low health. Now that I have this, which is 75% chance, I add this, which is maybe another 20, another 20. We're probably close to 100%. So now it's like pretty much guaranteed. There it is. And that's the idea. And you just go down all the way. Now, how do we get to tier 2? So the idea is we research all the way down to the item that triggers tier 2 unlock, which is satchel charge. So I'm going to do that off camera since it's going to take a while. Alright, moment of truth. Let's get this. Watch. Imagine this fails. I bet it's going to fail. Ooh. Alright, look at that. We are now tier 2. There was supposed to be a message here. But anyways, you can see in the top that tier 2 is active. That means I can now craft tier 2 items. The tier 3 unlock is done by the SAR. All of this can be configured by the admin. Once you get here, tier 3 is unlocked, and now basically it is stock Rust. Let's rewind and imagine we're still in primitive. Tier 1 is not unlocked, so I can't craft anything from any of the workbenches. But I was the first to finish my primitive objectives, and so I got the supply signal, I dropped it. Look at this. I now get this to play with. So imagine me roaming around with a custom, a hazy that I looted. I have a huge advantage now over the other primitive players. And this is not meta. This is literally the skill gap that allowed me to complete the objectives first. But I only get to do this once. If I lose the custom, it's gone. It's gone to the other player. And they might be shit. They just happen to find it on the floor. I don't know. The last feature I want to talk about is that during the primitive stage, there is no nodes. Wooden bases are going to be a lot more common. So imagine getting a Molotov early game. Getting fire arrows early game. Imagine all the fun you'll have. So I kind of introduced that, golden gun game dynamic. So the primitive tier, most players are gonna have wooden doors because stone and metal is gonna be hard to come by. All you can get is pickups. So if you find a stone pickup, what do you think you're gonna build? Well, you're probably gonna make arrows, or you're gonna have a lot of bone arrows, and you're gonna start storing that stone to slowly upgrade your base. It's bringing back a lot of those early game mechanics we used to see years ago, broadening the experience, I think, and the length of the primitive experience, making it luck and skill gap, which allow players to excel. So basically luck is random to all players. Skill gap is just for the top players. I think we're gonna see some more fun progression. I don't know if it's gonna be good. I don't know if it's gonna be great. I just want to put it out there and test it out. So I'll be doing like a launch event. Probably set up a Discord for that. So stay tuned. I'll be posting about it. Let's see how it plays out. Thanks for watching.